It's that time of the week again where we look ahead and see what our Sunday school lesson is coming up. So we are continuing in our leadership study of the book of Joshua. We are in session 2. It's called Be Confident in God's Power. We're going to be looking specifically at Joshua chapter 3, verses 7 through 17. And the point of this lesson is to lead from a position of confidence in God. You know, as leaders, sometimes we're called to lead and to do things outside of our comfort zone. And sometimes that's a huge leap of faith for us. And we can have confidence that if God calls us to do something, He will equip us. In fact, I know we're very familiar with the saying that God doesn't call the equipped, but He equips the called. So you might want to tell your class that there is a distinction between faith and presumption. Faith is saying, I'm certain that God is calling me to do something, and I'll know that He will equip me along the way. Presumption is, I'm going to do this certain thing, and I know that God's going to bless me. There's a distinct difference between the two. So make sure that when somebody says that they feel like God is leading them, that is truly the case, and that they're just not being presumptuous, doing what they want to do and asking God to bless it later. So in our text today, the Israelites are at the Jordan River, and they're getting ready to take the land that they should have taken 40 years earlier. You might want to Google Jordan River and see some images. You can even do that there in the class if you've got a smartphone, or ask somebody, hey, if somebody has a smartphone or an iPad, to Google the Jordan River and show some images. Or maybe just, if you want to do that ahead of time, print off an image or two and show to the class, because it's not a very deep, wide river. But in verse 15 of our text this Sunday, we see that the river was at flood stage. And of course that's something that we here in southeast Arkansas know about, especially in recent weeks. And in our text we see a couple of miracles. We see in verse 15 that when the feet of the priests who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant touched the river, that it quit flowing at that point. And it's very similar to Moses parting the Red Sea. Also we see in verse 17 that the priests, as well as the Israelites who walked across the riverbed, they walked across on dry ground. Now, if somebody was very skeptical of the Bible, I guess they could try to explain away the backing up of the river and how that could have happened through some natural phenomenon. But the fact that the river backed up and then the priests as well as the rest of the Israelites walked across on dry ground, and not muddy ground, not slimy ground, but walked across the riverbed on dry ground, that to me is a larger miracle. So as you think about your lesson, think about your students and yourself as well. And when you sense that God is leading you to do something, ask yourself, is this bigger than I can handle? Is this something that I'm really not equipped to do? And if that's the case, then remember that God is the one who does the work, and He just uses us as a vessel to accomplish that work. And it's a privilege to be used by God. And when we sense that God's calling us, but it's something that we really don't think we can do on our own, more than likely that is God calling us to do something. Because why would God call us to do something that we can already do? He calls us to do things that are larger than ourselves. He calls us to God-sized tasks so that He can get the glory in it and not us. So that's just some thoughts today from Jim. You probably know that I'm out this weekend. I'll be with the family up in Oklahoma. We'll be back in town late Sunday night. But I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll see you next week.